Well, I am slowly putting all the pieces together. So, this is Mark Black, and this is Mark Teaches Music, and you're at to play and sing my Q&A with questions. Answering your questions, and also I'm starting to I've been doing this the whole time, but dedicating the this to a specific question for the last I don't know 4, 5, 6 weeks. And today, I'm letting you know this is going to be the last live stream I'm referring to, because for some reason the videos that I release, videos as opposed to live streams, have 4 times as many hits, and I don't really know what to do. I like the idea of a live stream, people responding and all that kind of stuff, but I can't. I'm not getting the immense number of views, which neither one are immense views, but hey. So there's a lot more views on the video. So I'm going to have to release these as videos starting next week. There'll be videos. Same time, I'll release them on Tuesday night. And then the adlibbing improv workshop is released on Thursday morning. So anyway, I'm just letting you know that this will be the last live stream. And you can put in your questions. Today is the 11th day of October. This is episode 65. My gosh, I have to play and sing. And in these, I'm trying to answer every question. And again, I'm picking a topic. Last week's topic was the food of giants. What a great topic that was, about how to, by eating the food of great musicians, learning and listening to them and grabbing hold of what they did. It's like it rubs off on us and becomes our standard, becomes the things we think of. Anyway, just for example. And we have a really cool topic this time. So, and been doing this for a year and a half now. Really crazy. This is number 65, and on most of those 65, there's really 3, 4, 5 different questions answered. Some of them have 15 questions answered, and so you should go back through them, and you'll probably find a lot of questions that are really important to you. And then if you do have a question, send me leave a comment in the comment section. Hey, that'd be good. Or send me an email at mark@dallasmusiclessons.com. And if you're interested in lessons, go to www.dallasmusiclessons.com, and there's information there about lessons, about me and about lessons and how to get into lessons and all like that, if you want to do that. So right now, I want you to jump in and send me questions, flood me with questions, thousands, billions of questions. And so I just can't answer them. Can't even get to my topic. There's so many questions. And then if you know how to get rid of these glasses glare, just let me know. So the 3 things people have said: hey, you buy special glasses, and I understand that doesn't work. You tilt your glasses up like this, which now I look like should have a beehive hairdo. There you go. So it's kind of defeating the purpose of my glasses, which are like round glasses, right? Okay. And then, you can change all these angles, but it turns out that, the primary thing that's doing this is my computer screen. Up there is the ring light. See that? So anyway, if you know how to get rid of that, just let me know. So, and if you like this, you need to hit subscribe. You need to hit the notification button. You need to hit like. And you should comment, and you should send this to your friends and other musicians or people that want to be musicians. You don't have to be a musician. It's really crazy how many people are interested in things that are musical that have nothing to do with music. I think it's fascinating. I wonder how many people on Rick Beato's channel, why this is the greatest song, how many of those people are musicians? Probably way, way less than half. Probably like a 10th are musicians. Rick is great, and his channel is great. I love his channel. And I was on there for an hour and a half today. So anyway, but I'm just saying that. So this is mostly for musicians, but somebody who's not a musician might want to ask some questions like, how come I can't learn? Or is it hard? Or whatever. Those are great questions. So today's topic, as you saw from my alien in the beginning, is, let's get my alien back on here. Today's topic is live performance skills, and I will survive. And and that alien there is about I don't know, 15 years ago, a guy did a video of what's her name, Gloria Gaynor. Is that her name? Doing the I will survive as long as I have love. And except he did it with an alien, and the alien singing the song and performing, and then a ball falls on her. And so that's a joke. You don't have to like the joke, but something to look at. So anyway, so we're talking about live performance skills. So we're not talking about preparing. How do you prepare? That's a separate issue. We're talking about you're up there on stage, things are happening. I'm jumping in now. If you got your questions, you ask your questions. Just say them right in the chat. I'm looking there's the T. See if I do like that. I'm looking at the chat. So anyway, and then you could email me, of course. Let me get that up. Make sure that I could see an email. Mark@Dallas Music Lessons. Okay. So anyway, so we're talking about I Will Survive live performance skills. And it's really topical because this Sunday, most all of my students will be performing in concerts here, and there'll be like 30 people, jazz band, rock band, about 15, 16 individual performances. And so y'all should all be watching this. This is about how to fix it while it's happening. And then, like I said, I'm going to say it again. This is the last live stream. I so solicit your comments and questions and all like that. But I'm going to release these as videos because they get more hits, and that's going to have to go with that. So, okay, so what is performing? The first thing, we're performing. We're up there on stage. What is performing? Okay, check this out. Listen to this. Performing is convincing an audience as small as one, which could be yourself, that the music you're making is real. It is interesting. It is worthwhile. It is unique and necessary at the time of the performance. That's what you're doing. Performing is transporting the listener, which may also include the performer, into a creative cosmos of tenderness, power, love, adoration, thoughtfulness, love, and tension. It's not playing correctly, although the listener must be free from the fear of frequent damaging mistakes if they are to enter the performer's cosmos. So the performer's creating a world, and the listener's got to be like, oh my gosh, that guy's screwing up all the time. And if he is, then it's like they're not going to buy into what you're saying. It's the performer's task to perform the beckoning cosmos. Come here with me. Not the listener's job to enter it. So the performer's the guy who's got to make it so great and so interesting and so engaging that the listener says, "Ooh, I'm gonna go through that. I'm gonna join with you." So the above ideas are what it takes to be a great performer, and these are ideas how to make that happen. So to be an amazing performer, you've got to agree that performing is what you're doing. Not doing everything correct or free from errors. Yes, that we would like that, but we're attempting to perform. That's what we're doing when we're making music. So how do you do that? In the moment. You're up on stage right now. I'm performing. How do I make this happen? So it's prep time is over. It's happening right now. So first thing, and if there's only one thing you could do, and this is so hard to do, and so I'm going to be performing, just by the way, like 22 songs, something like that. And so it's like it's hard for me to do. But first thing, if you could only do one thing, you need to throw caution to the wind, and you need to trust that the work and practice you did, that those things had an effect. And they, that most of the song, most of the things you need to do, and that should be the case. And all that is giving you a cushion, a legacy, a reserve, and you're focusing mostly on enjoying and giving the music to those people. Isn't this a cool song? I love this song. I picked this song. It's so great. And here I am doing this song, and I want you, audience, to be with me. And so. And I'm not saying exactly completely throw caution to the wind, just don't think about anything. But it's like 95% of what you're doing is like, I'm going for it. It's going to be great. And then maybe 5% can just be like, remember that key change. Remember this is a C sharp. Remember to sing this in your head voice, like that. A very light touch. But it's not, your performing is not 8,000 notes done correctly. You do that correctly, it'll still be a bad and poor performance. What we need is, and look, I tell people this, I'm right, there's no question about it. Nobody likes any music from an intellectual standpoint only. No one does. Okay, so at the music schools in the country, with tenured professors who cannot be fired, who write music for one another, and they're captive, choral groups who have to sing that music, who are in that school and at another school where they're also captive. So those people who are writing atonal crap, those people are getting an intellectual experience. But music, from its inception to certainly now, and just classical music has abandoned us. With my degree in oboe, I have a degree in oboe. Classical music abandoned us, 120 years ago, and said, I'll just make this intellectual, not beautiful, not exciting. So accepting that music is a tiny little blip of music. Let's put it right over here in the corner. The quarter's over here. There it is. That's what's left. That is intellectually only music. All the rest of the music, the 99% of music, including almost all of classical music, is about a blend of intellectual stimulation or interest with beauty and excitement and power. So I tell people this, and depending on their personality, they'd be like, it's not that, because they don't want to be emotionally moved. But you could say psychologically powerful. There's no difference in the words. Powerful is an emotion as far as I'm concerned. Noble is an emotion. Precision is an emotion in the sense that, like, man, check it out. We're just whoa, So anyway, it's the same thing. So you're trying to move yourself and you're trying to move your audience. And just by the way, on this thing about performing, about every day when you practice, this is just a little aside. The more you do this at home every day, twice a day on your song, you should do this 2 times a day on your song. And that is throw caution to the wind, do it the best you can, and try to emote and try to grip the meaning of the song. And that's 10 minutes, at the most. And okay, now second, the great giant rhythm. The great giant rhythm. So you're in the middle of playing, and you need to be thinking that beat. Now at this moment, boy, that's loud. That's really, snapped a little softer. Just went red down there completely. So that is the main thing of a song. That is what makes excitement. So I'm going to go. This is Mendelssohn's second symphony, the second movement, I think. So what makes that exciting is the rhythm. What makes this exciting, let's see. Hey, good looking, what you got cooking? How's about cooking something up with me? So rhythm is actually the king of music. Why music works. The listener is a steady pulse, and the listener, his body, his intellect is like, okay, this is happening. Doesn't know what's happening, but it's like it's moving. He's feeling it. He's hearing it. You are doing the same thing as a performer. So this provides a steady, constant rhythm, provides peace and confidence to an audience as well as yourself. So if you're not just flailing away. So in the middle of playing, if you're concentrating on the rhythm, and I'm not talking about the correctness of the rhythm, I'm talking about the pulse, the groove, the pocket. That here's the beat, and you're playing your song, and you're thinking, boom, boom. So you're playing all your difficult stuff, but there's a unity there. I get to hit this beat, and again, there's millions of beats. So I'm hitting this beat. So focus on, in the middle of performing, focus on that rhythm. Where's the rhythm? I'm not talking about the details of the rhythm. I'm talking about the large, giant rhythm pulse. 1, 2, 3, 4. And this provides confidence and a focal point. And so there's somebody with you. There's somebody, get it here. You're together with somebody. Who is it? It's the song. You're together with the song itself. This is the song goes like this. And I'm going to hit this beat in the middle of playing. And you're unifying. You stay with that. So you lean for it, you look for it, that pulse, stay with it. That helps it not be about all the little details, which are very important. We want to get, it makes it about the big picture, the 3 minutes, the 5 minutes of the song. So there's somebody with you. It is the music itself. And if you're, so a couple other things, if you're speeding up and you're going too fast, think of 2 and 4. I'm talking about in a classical piece. So I'm thinking, Just what's popping in my head. That'll help you slow down. Thinking of give 2 and 4 help you slow down. If you're speeding up, I said that backwards. 2 and 4 help you slow down. Yes, you're speeding up, so you want to slow down 2 and 4. If you're dragging and it's too slow, you think of 1 and 2. Think of 1 and 3 if you're trying to speed up. And when you're setting the tempo, think of the hardest part of the song as the speed, and make sure there's a physical reaction to the speed you're thinking. Can't tell you the number of times that I have in my head gone like this, on a song. 1, 2, I'm thinking in my head. There's nothing external; it's all internal. And then I go 1, 2, and then I start singing, 20% faster. So I'm not obviously if you're doing a classical piece or something, you're not necessarily going to tap your foot. But I'm saying something in the physical world needs to match the time. So I'm saying when you're thinking of the time, think of the hardest part of the song and get some sort of physical expression, even if you're just doing just like this and you go. So it's not up here and then it comes out in the real world wrong. It was in here, it was in the real world, and then you started playing. So remember this is all great stuff. So you're playing consciously. This is number 3. Consciously relax your fingers, relax your hands, relax your body. The more relaxed your fingers are, the faster you'll play. Now, I realize that there's a fight between your hands going, this is so hard, and you're going to do it, and you're kind of ordering them about, and there's stiff, and they're going, no, they're going, yes, slapping your hands, or your voice, got to come on, sing this. And so if you need to relax your muscles, you need to rely on muscle memory. I'm talking about their muscles for a moment. Here you are in the middle of your song, and it's hard. Don't think about all the details. Don't think about all those notes you got to play, how hard this is, how long you worked on it. Think about it sounds like this. It should sound like this. You've already worked on it for hours. You've already worked on it for days and weeks. So if you're playing in a band or with a track, listen to that track and try to match through. If you're playing in a band, listen to the best live musician in there who's playing with you. Follow him. Where's his beat? Get with the beat. Feel the groove with him. This is talking about ideas in live performing to make it better. And be nailed to the rhythm. I cannot get away from that freaking rhythm. Play that funky rhythm, white boy. The rhythm is so strong, and it's slowing you down. I'm doing this, and I'm thinking I'm playing kind of rock, hip songs because I want to be hip. But I want you. It's fine if you're going da. You're going da 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 da. You don't have to move your head. I'm doing it. See it. Da 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 da. Also in the same way, talking about just top to my head too. If you're trying to go faster, think about dividing the beat. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. If you're trying to slow down, instead of subdivide the beat, go to. You're thinking of quarter notes. Think of half notes. Boom. Right now I'm not talking about 1 and 3 or 2 and 4. I'm talking about the length that you're observing the time. It's like now there's larger steps between the beats, and it helps you slow down. Okay, so now another huge thing, and this is so important and so hard, and this is something you do need to practice every day. But whether you did or you didn't, here it is. You've got to ignore your mistakes. I'm talking about if you're taking lessons with me and you've heard me say that 700 times, you're like, I need to do that. Or you go like, I'm going to do that, but you never do it. My gosh, I've had students, they can't play 4 measures. And I'm not disgusted at them. I'm thinking of somebody in particular, several people. They're taking years and years and years of lessons with me telling them for years and years and forcing me playing with them I will not stop forcing them to continue. And then the second I let them go, they're like back to stopping every 3 beats, and it's like, if you're going to do that, never break that, you're not going to get free. So here you are, you're in the middle, and you'll say you've never done that. You're in the middle of your performance, you're trying to make it better. You make a mistake, ignore the mistake. Like you're deaf, like you didn't even hear it, you didn't even know it was there. A mistake has happened. And what we're trying to do is keep it from taking over the song. You're freaked out now. You're rattled. You play the next thing. Oh, now it's 10. Oh, you're crying, which is okay. I've cried before in performances, and so we're trying to keep the mistakes small. How do we do that? We act like it never happened. We're the show salesman. It's not a what is the word? It's not a something. It's a feature. That note was supposed to be there. So don't frown. I'm talking in the middle of performing. Don't frown. Don't reveal that you made a mistake. Don't say anything. Just keep on playing. And we're trying to shrink that mistake and make it disappear like it didn't even happen. Act like you're deaf. Like a switch. When you perform, you turn on that switch and you cannot hear your mistakes. This is only performing now. And if you're at their house, you go, that was wrong, but this, completely like that was the best thing there ever was, and just keep on going. And when you finish, if you're at the house, you go, okay, now why did I miss that? And you try to fix that. But in the performance, just like, oh no, that was great. So, and in general, there's no time to fix a mistake when you're performing. So you cut your losses, you ignore those mistakes. And your attitude is, I am in love with this song. This is so great. It's so fun to play this song. And just I was looking at a video of Tommy Emmanuel today, talking about, you're on the spot and you make a mistake. So it's go time. You got to do it, and good or bad, it's happening. So, now, this is another thing. It's a separate thing. These things are all kind of related, but here's another thing: is so if you can look at the audience. Now, this varies from instrument to instrument. So, like a vocalist, most guitarists, a bass player, if he's playing a solo, I'm just thinking, sax. These guys can look at the audience, but they're not going like, I'm playing the oboe. Looking. Not that, but he's playing. So you can imagine, if you can think through these scenarios. Some of the instruments, the norm is to look at the audience. Some of the instruments, the norm is to not look at the audience. And let's say the ones that you're looking at the audience, we'll talk about that in a second. The ones that is not, let's say classical music, classical instruments, including, I'm thinking of Joe Pass. He's not looking at the audience. He's, I'm playing. It's amazing. But here's what the point is. All those instruments, a classical pianist, a regular jazz pianist, whatever, your face is reflecting, let your face reflect the intensity of the music. Think of Bill Evans. He's playing. Actually, I'm going to do my Bill Evans. You really got to see me sideways, hunched over. And so I'm saying, but it's like, what is he doing visually? You're not trying to do anything, but what he is doing, accomplishing, is he's saying, this is a great song. I'm so into this, and I care about this so much, and I really want this to be great. So look engaged, look excited, look moved by the music you're making, and you're communicating. Remember, you're communicating. This is live. You're happening. You're communicating with your body and your face as well as your music. So it's not just the sound; it's also what it looks like. So even if you can't physically look at the audience, make that visual what people do see. It's like it fits what your song is about, and get into that. Here you are playing, and you're like, and you can exaggerate those things. Now, let me make a little aside. It's just say if you are a vocalist, you're singing, you happen to be in let's say a guitar, and you can plug gaps in the audience or places where there's actually. So I'm singing and I'm doing my song and I'm singing like this, and this looks like it's pause or something. Excuse me. Hey TDB. Okay, well, this is okay. So anyway, so the point is, I'm singing, and I'm looking over here, and I'm singing a while, and then I'm acting like I'm singing right to somebody, and I'll go over here and sing a while, and I might come back, and I might go back over here, and so it looks like I'm engaging the audience, like I'm very calm, but all I'm really doing is just trying to get a visual element, so it looks like I'm comfortable and calm, and all that kind of stuff is great. All right, now. In your practicing, this is another point. So in your practicing, you're trying to get and have a cushion that is equal to skill. That is, if what I have to do is like this, and I am like this, a little bit better than what I have to do, then it comes across as skill. And it is skill. But again, I could have this much more. I could have so much more skill than needed. So I just want to quantify it. When I get to where I need to do this and I can do this. It sounds skillful. It sounds masterful. It sounds engaging. Like, oh, the listener, I can just relax and listen to him. So in your practicing, you were trying to build that, but here you are in the middle of it. So you can do things. You can slow down a tat. You can lead, and I'm not saying this is the preferential thing. I'm saying here we are, we're either screwing this up or in the almost going to screw it up, or we're very, very nervous and very, very tense. And so you can play that easier version of the chord. You can play, instead of a busy talk, you can play the half. You can simplify things. I realize that in classical pieces, and again, just to mention, I have a degree in oboe. So I understand the classical point. No, I can't do any of those things. Well, you may be able to slow the song down a tat. You may be able to some of the super uber details of, I'm making this up, of articulations or dynamic changes and things that you worked on. You should, like I said in the beginning, relax and trust that a lot of those things you meant to do or want to do are there. They're going to come up. You're going to do them. And always perform. Always perform with all your power, all your drama. This is a wonderful song. I love this. And again, I'm totally talking about classical songs. I'm totally talking about vocal pieces. I'm totally talking about, blues pieces. And so I'm not just talking about a kind of music where people are emotional and passionate. I'm talking about all music. All music is about emotions and passions, even though some of them are more reserved passion. It's still very passionate. I mean, Beethoven wrote the Fifth Symphony to be passionate, to be it's supposed to be heavy, It's supposed to be like, you're supposed to go like, yeah. So the emotion there, I don't know what you would call it. It wouldn't be I'm dancing in the streets, in the streets. It's not that, but it is the emotion of, I don't know. I don't want to say sternness. Something good, something heavy. So you got to go for it. So here you are. So get into your song right in the middle. I'm going to go for it now. I'm going to not hedge my bets. I'm going to give it all. I'm going to. I've got something awesome to play. I'm going to just go make this as powerful as I can, as exciting as I can, as tiny as I can. If it's supposed to be tiny, make it teeny-niney. If it's supposed to be powerful, make it elephantine. If it's supposed to be loud, break windows. If it's supposed to be soft, make people go, is he still playing? No, I'm saying when we try that stuff, big, huge, and teeny tiny. And you're don't be passive. Don't passively endure any performance. Now look, you would look at yourself as you go through performance after performance after performance. It may not have ever even occurred to you that you could be or should be passionate, that there was emotions to express in your song, that your song has an emotional standpoint. It's a happy song, it's an aggressive song, it's a sad song. What is it? You may even occur to you, and then I'm including classical pieces. But regardless, right now, try to figure out what this song is about, and whatever it is, do that as sad or as happy, as bright as you can possibly do. And like I said, don't endure it. Just get through it. I played it, But so emphasize things, emphasize dynamics. And in fact, you're playing. I'm not talking about you playing better, although you will play better. I'm saying emphasize that crescendo. Put in a crescendo that wasn't there. Change the articulation. Add articulations. If the articulation's already there, in the middle of your playing, hit them strongly. Get into them. Let them be a focal point. The different things you're trying to do. The different words. This is an exciting verse I'm singing. This is a cool concept, or it's a terrible concept. Why did he do that? In my song, my lyric, it's terrible. Emphasize that. It's like, it's not the pale moon that excites me, that thrills and delights me. Oh no. So you like stuff like that. So you sing it like, oh my gosh, oh no. It's just the nearness Oh, you. Maybe another time I'd sing it. Oh, you. So I would crescendo and I would emphasize in the middle of my performing, I'm adding these things. I should have done this before, perhaps, but now I can use it as a way to enliven my song and make my song come alive. So try to overdo it. You probably can't. So we're really not talking about you acting like a fool. We're really talking about you adding emotion and power and drama that should have been there already. You probably can't do it as much as you need to do it. Maybe 10% of all the musicians can overdo things to where it is actually melodramatic and fake seeming. Most people have to learn to do that. I could, and I know plenty of people who could, but most people, their emotional / dynamic / expression range is this big. So it's like, okay, if they went for it crazy, man, it would just come out, wow, that was good and strong and aggressive, or that was teen 90 and exciting, and like that, and that's great. And then if you ever do get to where it's just too elephantine huge or too tiny, hokey and melodramatic, just means we don't believe you. So if that's probably not going to happen. So for now, in the middle of your performance, don't think about that. Just go for it. Make it huge, make it tiny, make it dramatic, whatever. Now, and remember, there's a psychological, physical distance. Physical, it's also psychological distance between you and the audience. The audience has to be brought in. You're bringing the audience in. So I'm saying you're free. You really should go for it and overdo it and be dramatic. Long time before they're going to be like, a lot of effort on your part to be dramatic before they go like, hey, what's wrong with that guy? He's overdoing it. Now, I want to comment lastly that in this, remember, I'll say it. I won't say it. I was going to say it at the end. I'll say it right now. Remember, the best way to do this is that you practice this way every day. That you practice. So you practice, you do your details, try to get this right and that right. And then you say, okay, I'm going to do my song. For the next 2 times, I'm going to do my song for real. I'm going to do it, again, whether that's 2 pages or the 4 pages of the song or the entire song, whatever. I'm going to make it exciting and dramatic and powerful, and everything I can do to make it great. I'm going to do that right now in your practice every day. Now, if you didn't do that, that's okay, but I'm telling you should do that. So that's the last time I'm going to mention that, because now I want to say, if you're doing that, or here you are in the middle of your song, be prepared for the jolt of you are throwing yourself into it. You have thrown caution to the wind. You are trying muscle memory. You are trying to enjoy it. You are doing all these things, and it's getting better. And then the jolt, smack in the face of, oh my gosh, I did make a mistake. Oh my gosh, I forgot that entrance. Oh my gosh, whatever, some mistake occurs. The more you're investing in it to be awesome and powerful and dramatic and exciting, the more it's like somebody punching you in the gut when you make a mistake. Be ready for that. And all you are to do, you ignore it. Remember, you ignore your mistake. You pass through that and you grab onto the next beat that is correct, or the next note that is correct. And then you grab it on. Here's the next thing. This is where I'm supposed to be. And you go, oh, that was an F sharp, not an F. And you just, what's the next note? And you pass over the mistake that really hit you, but you're acting like, no, it didn't hit me at all. And internally, what's the next thing I need to be doing? Where do I need to be? And the next correct note, and put that train back on the track, ride back on the track. Visually, again, you're trying to say, nobody can see that. Internally, it hits you hard because you're trying so hard and doing a good job too. But you made a mistake anyway. You grab the next beat, the next note, the correct note. And then also, just the last thing is to remember, try to, instead of in these difficult passages, try to not hear them as all these notes, but the sound you want to hear. I want to hear this sound. I want to hear this chord sound. I want to hear this sound. What's it supposed to be? And you're listening to what it's supposed to be instead of trying to intellectually go through, it's an F sharp, it's 16th notes, it's another one. All those things are very important and useful. But right now, we're kind of in a scrambling situation where we're trying to make this song work. Okay, now I have one question here. So that's it. That's a summation of I Will Survive of performance skills, live performance skills. Okay, I do have a question here. Here it is. How do you define a quarter step? What is a quarter step? A quarter step is when 2 rock guitarists try to play unison. That's a quarter step. 2 rock guitars try to play the same note. That's a quarter step. Okay, so for more information about lessons, go to www.dallasmusiclessons.com, and there's information there about lessons. If you have any questions for me, leave them in the comments, or send me an email at mark@dallasmusiclessons, and keep coming back to my channel. A whole bunch of improvisation stuff, tracks to improvise with, and me making comments about stuff, and then also 65 topics, but it's really more like 300 or 400 different questions answered topics of things that are all about musicians learning, playing, performing, all that kind of stuff. Who you are affects how you play and how you learn. So as always, until I see you again, I want you to have fun. Oh, I need to say quick, this is the last live stream. From now on, I'll release these as a video, and if you have any questions, like I said, do it in the comments or send me an email at mark@dallasmusiclessons. So, as always, until I see you again, I want you to have fun, and I want you to be awesome.